Alright, when setting up your CorelDRAW file to laser through the piece of wood in order to put your switch in, you're going to need to follow the same steps that you did for your top, just a little bit different. This time we're going to be lasering through instead of just engraving into our product here. So we'll start a new document. Again, when you start that new document, please name it. So you have your first name, or excuse me, your last name, underscore, and then what you're doing. So maybe I'll call this the switch, since that's what I'm going to be lasering through to get my piece. Again, you're setting the size of the laser, not the size of the piece you're cutting here. So we need the width 24 inches wide, 12 inches high, and we want to use the RGB color mode. Go and hit OK. You can see our paper space is now here. This is as big as the laser is. I want to set up a couple things to help me line things up. So I'm going to go up here, upper left hand corner, click and drag down and line up the corner here, and then let go. That's going to set 0, 0 to this corner. I try to get as close as I can. If you have to, you can always zoom in a little bit. Then I want to set up how big my piece is, so I'm going to go ahead and just click on a vertical scale here, drag over, and then I'm going to type in the measurement up top here. Our piece is 15/16 wide, so I'm just going to type in 15 divided by 16 and hit enter. Then I'm going to click on the horizontal scale, drag down, and I'm going to type up here negative, because I'm going below 0 here, 2.75. So let me zoom in here. This space right here is how big our piece of wood is going to be where we could put our switch. So in order to do this, I need to put a rectangle there to tell the computer where to cut. So I'm going to draw a rectangle. Again, I don't really care what size it is at the moment. I just draw a quick rectangle, and then I'm going to adjust the size up top here. So I want that rectangle to be exactly 0.5 inches wide and 7/8 inches long. Hit enter. So that gives me the size of that where the switch would go. And then for me, it's just a matter of placing the location wherever I need to on there. If I want it to be perfectly centered, all I need to do is figure out where center would be. So this is the size of the rectangle. This is where that rectangle is being positioned. So I want the center to be half of my height, which is 2.75. So I could say 2.75 divided by 2 and hit enter. So that was my X. That's wrong. So let me undo that. I want to do that in the Y. So negative 2.75 divided by 2. There we go. And then as far as left to right there, if I want to be perfectly centered, I'm going to take 15/16. And then I can actually divide that by 2. And that's going to center it perfectly. Keep in mind there's going to be a screw that's going to be going through right about here. Another one going right about there. So we have to be between those screws. You don't want to be on top of them. Last thing you want to do is we need to change the color of this line here. We're going to change it to red, and we're going to make sure that it's a hairline. Okay. So how I do that is make sure that this object is selected. Then I can go down here to where it says RGB, that black color right there. Just click on that. That's going to bring up this screen. I'm going to change it to red. And underneath width here, I'm going to change that to hairline. And then go ahead and hit OK. Last thing you need to do is just make sure you save this file to the flash drive so that we can take that over to the laser and laser our piece.